So our question here is to identify the quadrant when the sum of the complex numbers 3 plus 2i and 6 minus 4i is graphed. The question is asking for the sum of these two complex numbers, meaning we need to add these two numbers. So 3 plus 2i plus 6 minus 4i, which will equal to 9 minus 2i. 9 will be our x and 2i will be our y. So now we need to graph it. Using the sum of the complex numbers, which is 9 and minus 2, being 9 as our x and minus 2 as our y, we are going to plot it on the graph. As you can see, our x is 9, so our starting point is 0. So we're going to move 9 to the right because it's positive. If it were to be negative, we were going to go to the left, but in that case we're going to the right, and we're going down 2 since it's negative. Same thing, if it was positive, it would have went up, but we're going negative. So the answer here is 4. I'll be showing you how to solve a normal distribution question. Let's read the question together. The heights of 32 peaks in a mountain range are normally distributed with a mean of 10,200 feet and a standard deviation of 295 feet. Approximately how many peaks are more than 10,495 feet tall? So first we're going to highlight our given, which is 32 peaks. It is normally distributed, mean of 10,200 feet, and our standard deviation is 295 feet. Our main question is how many peaks are more than 10,495 feet tall. In order to solve this question, we need to draw our normally distribution graph and label the percentages. After labeling and writing all of our percentages for each sections, we are going to move on with calculating what is more than 10,490 feet tall. As you can see here, I have only done the right side of the graph because it's asking only for more than 10,495. It's not asking for what's below. Here our mean is 10,200. So we need to add 295, which is our standard deviation, by each of the sections right here. With the first section being 10,495, the second section being 10,790, and our last section being 11,085. Going back to the question, it's asking for more than 10,495 feet tall. As you can see here, we have 3 sections that are after 10,495, which is here, which is 13.5, 2.35, 0.15. Adding them all together gives you 16%. Working with the amount of peaks that we have and the number of percentage that came out that is more than 10,495, we are going to calculate how many mountains are more than 10,495 feet tall. Adding our percentage over 100, timesing it by 32, which is the number of peaks, which will equal to 5.12. Of course, we can't have 5.12 amount of mountains, so we have to round it up, which will give us 5 mountains, and that's the answer. For this normal distribution question, it is asking the heights of 32 peaks in a mountain range are normally distributed with a mean of 10,200 feet and a standard deviation of 295 feet. What percent of peaks are between 9,610 and 10,790 feet tall? So we need to find the percent of the peaks this time. Let's highlight our mean of 10,200 feet and our standard deviation of 295 feet. And we need to look between the numbers 9,610 and 10,790. So after we have drawn and labeled our normal distribution graph, we are going to add here on this side 295, and we are going to minus from here 295 from 10,200, which is our mean. So adding the numbers here, we're going to have 10,495. Here we're going to have 10,790. Here we're going to have 11,085. And minusing from 10,200, here we're going to have 9,905. Here we're going to have 9,610. And we're going to have 9,310. But the question here is asking only between 9,610 and 10,790. So we are going to look the amount of percentage that is between these numbers, which will be 34%, which is over here, plus 34%. So let's write it down, 34 and 34, with 13.5 and 13.5, which will give us 95%. Meaning the percent of peaks that are between 9,610 and 10,790 is 95%, and that is our answer. In the diagram below, the right triangle ABC has legs whose length are 4 and 6. What is the volume of the three-dimensional object formed by continuously rotating triangle about AB? We have the length, which is 4 and 6, and it's asking for the volume of the three-dimensional object continuously rotating. So I'll be showing you a 3D dimensional in GeoGebra in a minute, but first we're gonna have to work out in pi, so we have to take that in mind. Showing you a visual explanation of how to work out the volume of this triangle constantly rotating. As you can see, if we start rotating this triangle, let's do it a bit slower. Okay, if it constantly rotates, we are going to have a cone, as you can see here. So the question is asking for the volume of this triangle constantly moving, which means it will give us a cone. So we need to find out the volume of this cone. As the question says, our radius is 4 and our height is 6. I'm going to be showing you here where is the radius and where is the height. The radius of the cone starts from here to the end point of the circle on the bottom of the cone, and the height is in the middle to the very top of the cone. Going back to the formula, we are going to substitute the r in the formula with our radius, which is 4, and our h with 6, which is our height. So it's going to be volume equals pi times 4 squared times 6 over 3. Putting this in our calculator will leave us with the answer 32 pi, and it's answer A.
Which expression is equivalent to the expression below? G plus G plus G plus G plus G plus G. It's a simple question. You just add all of the G's together and you get 6G, which is A. Given the statement, a right angle measures 90 degrees, how is the statement written as a bioconditional? Is it, if an angle is right angle, then it measures 90 degrees. An angle is a right angle if and only if it measures 90 degrees. An angle measures 90 degrees and it is a right angle. If an angle does not measure 90 degrees, then it is not a right angle. The right statement is 2. An angle is a right angle if and only if it measures 90 degrees.
Today we want to solve EmSAT questions. First, we want to read the question, then we solve. In the right triangle below, what is the sine angle? We want to find the sine angle. They give us a 3 and 4, but we don't know the hypotenuse. To find the hypotenuse is square 4 power of 2 plus 3 power of 2 equal 5. The hypotenuse is 5. We know that the sine angle is opposite over hypotenuse equal 3 over 5. The answer will be B.
Which equation represents an ellipse? I'm going to start with writing the equation of an ellipse in the standard form, which is x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared equals 1, with the center of the ellipse at the origin. So by looking at the equation, you can see that there is a term of x squared plus a term of y squared. So x squared and y squared. So choice number 4 is wrong because there is no x or y squared. Also, choice number 2 is wrong because we have here an x squared, but we don't have here a y squared. For choice number 1, we have 3x squared equal 4 minus 5 squared. So I am going to move the term of minus 5y squared to the other side and change its sign. So the minus 5y squared will be moved to other side and change its sign. So now we will have 3x squared plus 5y squared equal 4. So it's an equation of an ellipse. So number 1 is right. So let's see for number 3 if it's right or wrong. But for choice number 3, as we see for choice number 3, which is 6x squared equal 9 plus 8y squared. So what we will do, we're going to move the 8y squared to the other side, and we change its sign from positive to negative, and we get the result that we get 6x squared minus 8y squared equals 9. And the sign of the equation doesn't equals to an equation of an ellipse because we have a minus here. So it doesn't match the equation of an ellipse, which is an x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared. So as we see, choice number 1 is the correct answer.
Our topic today is absolute value. Solve for all values of x. The absolute value of 4x minus 1 is equal to 19. So 4x minus 1 could be equal to 19, or 4x minus 1 could be equal to negative 19. So you will add 1 in both sides of this equation, and you will get 4x equals 20. And add 1 on both sides of this equation, you will get 4x equals to negative 18. Now divide both sides by 4. You will get x equals to 5. And divide by 4 here, you will get x equals to negative 9 over 2. So both of these x values satisfy the equation. Our topic today is exponential functions. Solve for x. 3 to the power x plus 2 is equal to 9 to the power 2x minus 3. What we need to do is change the base 9 into base 3. So 3 squared is equals to 9. So we're going to replace 9 with 3 squared. Now we need to multiply the base with 2x minus 3. So we will get 3 to the power 4x minus 6. If the bases are the same, then the exponents must be equal to each other. So x plus 2 is equal to 4x minus 6. We subtract x on both sides and add 6. These two will cancel. 2 plus 6 is 8. 4x minus x is 3x. So x is equal to 8 over 3. Now we're trying another question from the same topic, exponential functions. 8 to the power 4x minus 12 is equal to 16 to the power 5x minus 3. Now we need to change the base 8 and 16 to be the same. So 2 to the power 3 is equals to 8, and 2 to the power 4 is equals to 16. So we're going to replace 8 with 2 to the power 3 and 16 with 2 to the power 4. Now we need to multiply 3 with 4x minus 12 and 4 with 5x minus 3. We will get 2 to the power 12x minus 36 and 2 to the power 20x minus 12. Now that the bases are the same, then the exponents must be equal to each other. So 12x minus 36 equals to 20x minus 12. We subtract 12 in both sides and add 12 in both sides. These two will cancel. Negative 36 plus 12 is equal to negative 24. And 20x minus 12x is 8x. So x is equals to negative 3. Our topic today is operations with complex numbers, expressed in the simplest a plus bi form. 5i multiplied by 4 plus 3i. In multiplying complex numbers, it's known that I squared is equals to negative 1. What we're going to do is distribute 5i to 4 plus 3i. So 5 times 4 is 20i, plus 5 times 3i is 15i squared. As I said, I squared is equals to negative 1, so we're going to replace it with negative 1. So 20i plus 15 multiplied by negative 1. Now we're going to rewrite 20i minus 15 in this form. So it's going to be negative 15 plus 20i. With another question but the same topic. 3 plus I times 2 plus 2I. Here we're gonna distribute 3 plus I to 2 plus 2I. So 3 times 2 is 6 plus 3 times 2I is 6I. I times 2 is 2I. And I times 2I is 2I squared. As we did before, we replaced I squared with -1. Now we're gonna multiply 2 with -1 and add 6I with 2I. So it's 8I minus 2. Now 6 minus 2 is 4 plus 8I.
What is the solution of the inequality, the absolute value of 2x minus 5 less than 1? We're going to first start off by converting the absolute inequality to standard inequality. So it's going to be -1 less than 2x minus 5 less than 1. Then we're going to separate the compound inequalities into system of inequalities. So it's going to be 2x minus 5 greater than -1 and 2x minus 5 less than 1. We will start working on this side first. We will rearrange the variables to the left side. So it's going to be 2x greater than -1 plus 5. We're gonna calculate the sum, which is -1 plus 5, which equals to 4. So it will be 2x greater than 4. We're going to cross the common factor out by the coefficient, and we're gonna divide 4 by 2, which will give you, for the final answer, x greater than 2. Now that we're done, let's move on to the other side. Here we have 2x minus 5 less than 1. We're gonna do the same exact steps, so let's do it together. We're gonna rearrange the variables to the left side. So it's gonna be 2x minus 5 less than 1. And now we're gonna calculate the sum, which is -5 plus 1, which is 6. So then it will be 2x less than 6. And now we're gonna cross the common factor out with the coefficient, which will then give you x less than 3. We're going to find the intersection. Which is going to be 2 less than x less than 3. And this is your final answer. So right here we have 2 to the power of 3x equals 4 to the power of x minus 1. First of all, we're gonna first start by converting both sides of the equation into terms with the same base. So it will be 2 to the power of 3x equals, we're gonna open brackets and write 2 to the power of 2 to the power of x minus 1. Second of all, we're gonna start off by simplifying this number by using exponent power rule. This is the formula that's going to be used for the power rule. After simplifying, this is going to be the answer. 2 to the power of 3x equals 2 to the power of 2x minus 2. Based on the given conditions, corresponding exponents are equal. So it's going to be 3x equals 2x minus 2. After we're done with this step, we're gonna rearrange the variables to the left side of the equation, which means we're gonna move and you're going to rearrange them to the left. After you're done, you're going to combine like terms, which will give you your final answer, which is x equals -2. Solve for x. 7 equals square root 2x minus 5. First of all, we're gonna start off by rearranging the radical on the left side of the equation. So we're gonna start off by putting square root 2x minus 5 equals 7. We will add the power of 2 on both sides. And then we will calculate the power and open the brackets first and remove the square root. We're gonna calculate 7 to the power of 2, which will give you 49. So it will be 2x minus 5 equals 49. After we're done from the step, then we're going to rearrange the variables to the left side of the equation. So it's gonna be 2x equals 49 plus 5. We're gonna calculate the sum, which will equal to 2x equals 54. So for the last step, to find the final answer is to divide both sides of the equation by the coefficient of the variable. X equals 54 over 2. Cross out the common factor, which then will give you the answer, which is going to be x equals 27. And this is the final answer.
In order to solve this question, I think it's hard for most of you, so I decided to use an example which is much easier than this, just in order to understand the concept of completing the square. So the example is x squared plus 4x plus 3 equal to 0. As we know that this expression can be equivalent to x squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. You know that the a, b, and c, they are coefficients. So like, let's say, what is the value of a? We know that it's 1. What is the value of b? We know it's 4. What is the value of c? Is 3. So in order to solve the completing square, we should, first of all, we should arrange this equation. So we make it x squared plus 4x. Then we move the t to the other side, which is about -3. So then we move to the most important rule of completing the square, which is b over 2 square, bracket square. As we know that the b is 4, so bracket 4 over 2 square. So 4 over 2 is 2. 2 square is 4. So we got this 4. So how to input this 4 to this expression? So we say x squared plus 4x. We add the 4 for both sides. This 4 we add it for this side and this side. Okay, so x squared plus 4x plus 4 equal to -3 plus 4. So -3 plus 4, which is plus 1. And this we can make it into this form. X plus 2. We know that the x plus 2 square is equal to the x squared plus 4x plus 4. We stop until this step. we can complete and we get the value of x. We can make the square root for both sides, and we get the value for the x1 and x2. But this is not the purpose of this video, because this question does not need the value of x. Then we get back to the main question. So the question says the equation for x squared minus 24x plus 4y squared plus 72y equal to 76. So this expression, let's make it bigger. So as it says, this expression should be equivalent to one of the 4 choices that we see. In order to solve this question, first of all, we can notice that we have 2 variables in this expression, which is the x and the y. Then we make 2 expressions, which the first expression should be 4x squared minus 24x, and then the second expression is 4y squared plus 72y. So we have 2 expressions, and to make it easy for you, in order to solve the question, we take the common factor. So the common factor is 4. Then we remain with the x squared minus negative 24 over 4 is 6. So we remain with 6x. And this one, we take the common factor as well. Then 4 is out. Y squared plus 72 over 4, which is 18y. So we use the root for the completing square, which is b over 2 bracket square. So we know that the b is 6 or negative 6. Don't forget the sign. It's not actually important because we have this square. So, but in case you put the sign, okay? So negative 6 over 2 bracket square. So negative 6 over 2 is the negative 3 square equal to 9. And here we know we put the rule b over 2 square. We know that the b is 18, and we divide it by 2 square. We know that 18 over 2 is 9, so 9 square is 81. Then we take those 2 values, we import it into this expression. So how to do this? Okay, let's just move down, or let's zoom out. We write this expression and this expression because we already took the common factor. So 4x squared minus 6x plus 9. So we input this value here. Then the second one is plus 4 and y squared plus 18y plus 81 equal to 76. When you see the 4 choices, you see the answer should be in a square form. So how to do these 2 expressions into a square form? Let's just zoom out. And when we make the square root of 9, it should be 3. So we say x minus 3, because here we have the negative sign, the middle one, this one. So we put it the negative sign, and here the square root of 9 is 3. Then we put the square. Then here we have plus 4. The square root of 81 should be 9. And we here have the positive sign. So we put y plus 9 square equal to, oh, I forgot something. I will show it now. should be added to this step, but I will do it now. Should be equal to 76, and those two values should be added here. But before we add it here, we should multiply the 81 with the 4 and the 9 with the 4, because the original one was not taking the common factor. Like before taking the common factor, it should be 36. 4 times 9 is 36. So plus 36, and the last one 81 times 4, which is 324. So we are finally, we reached to the final step, but we still have to add those three products. So we write again 4x minus 3 square plus 4y plus 9 square equal to 76 plus 36 plus 24. Let me add it into the calculator, just a minute. We got 436. This should be the final answer. We look back to the 4 choices. The last one, same square form equal to 436, which is right. I know this topic is not easy. My advice to you is just repeat this video again and again and try to solve this question same as I did.